All right, let's get right into it. Something huge is happening on the internet, pretty much right under our noses. We're talking about a fundamental shift in where we spend our time and, maybe more importantly, where all the money is going. It really signals the end of one era and the dawn of a completely new one.
So let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. When you add up the hours, is it all just mindless scrolling through a social feed, or is it binge watching that new show everyone's talking about, listening to a really great podcast, or catching up on the day's events from a news source you actually trust? Because that distinction, right there, is at the absolute heart of this massive power shift happening online.
You see, for the last decade or so, our digital world has been ruled by just a few powerful kings. They built these enormous, fortified kingdoms. Let's talk about them. What we're talking about are walled gardens. These are basically closed ecosystems. Think Google and Facebook, where one single company gets to make all the rules. They control the content you see, they control the data, and crucially, they control all the advertising. And their control was, well, pretty much absolute. I mean, look at this. As recently as 2019, those two giants alone were capturing more than half of all digital ad money. That's an incredible concentration of power. But as we all know, even the highest walls can't stand forever. And yeah, the cracks are definitely starting to show. Both the people paying the bills, that's the advertisers, and the people living inside the walls, that's us, are starting to look for a way out. Okay, so the first crack is a legal one. You've got these major antitrust lawsuits, like the big one from the Department of Justice against Google, and it's making advertisers really nervous. They're starting to wonder if these closed-off markets are stable or even fair. The second crack? It's transparency, or, the total lack of it. Marketers are starting to ask some really tough questions, like, are my ads actually being seen by real people? Am I getting what I paid for? Reports have come out showing that these platforms sometimes don't even meet their own ad standards, and that really eats away at an advertiser's confidence. And the third crack is all about the content. As these walled gardens start to actively deprioritize professional journalism, brands are getting really worried about something called brand safety. I mean, basically, they don't want their ad for a shiny new car showing up next to some chaotic or untrustworthy video. But this is only half the story. The real earthquake is happening on our side of the screen. So this is the really crucial part. While all the advertisers are getting nervous, we, the users, have been quietly packing our bags and moving somewhere else entirely. We've been flocking to what people are calling the premium open internet. Now, this isn't just one website. It's the whole universe of high-quality, professionally made content that exists outside of those big walls. And this isn't some abstract idea. I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's Hulu, Disney+, and Max. It's Spotify and all your favorite podcasts. It's trusted news sites and watching live sports on ESPN. It's where all the good stuff is. And the scale of this whole migration is just staggering. As of 2023, we now spend the majority of our time online, a full 61%, out on the premium open internet. The walled gardens are left with just 39%. And to see just how dramatic this whole thing is, you have to look at the reversal. Just a decade ago, back in 2014, the numbers were almost exactly flipped. The walled gardens had 62% of our time. This isn't just a trend, it is a complete revolution in how we behave online. And the engine driving all this is just explosive growth. Between 2019 and 2023, the time we spent with streaming audio and connected TV just skyrocketed. Meanwhile, social media usage, it barely budged. We are actively, consciously choosing these premium experiences, and honestly, it's not even close. So when you have billions of hours of human attention moving from one place to another, you gotta ask, when is the money gonna follow? Well, the answer is, it already is. And here it is. This is the tipping point. For the first time in a decade, the combined ad revenue of Google and Facebook has fallen below 50%. The money is officially leaving the walled gardens. And it's not just going anywhere. It's specifically going after the best of the best. Ad demand for the top 500 premium publishers on the open internet, it's growing almost twice as fast as for the rest of the web. Advertisers are chasing quality. And boy, are they willing to pay for it. Marketers are paying a 78% premium for TV ads on these top sites. So why would they do that? Because the ads are more viewable, which means they're actually seen by people.
The environment is brand safe, and the audience is way more engaged. It's simple. You get what you pay for. So, what does this all mean? Well, it means the very foundation of the internet as we've known it for the past decade is being rebuilt from the ground up. And this quote here from the Trade Desk's CEO, Jeff Green, I think it just captures the vision perfectly. We're talking about an internet that respects our privacy but still delivers relevant experiences, one built on a foundation of quality and trust, not walls and secrecy. So when you boil it all down, it's pretty simple. This isn't just a story about advertising budgets or giant tech companies. It's actually a story about us. Our choices, where we decide to put our eyeballs and our time, are literally reshaping the digital world. From a couple of closed-off gardens into this vast, open, and frankly much more interesting landscape. Which leaves us with one final, really fascinating question to think about. As we move into this new, premium era of the internet, it's no longer a question of who can build the highest walls. It's about who can create the most valuable, most compelling experiences out in an open world. The race is on.